Are you serious? Are you serious? There is absolutely a serious situation developing there at Indian Point Energy Center. Reports are coming that it's look at this, uncontrollable radioactive flow coming from the nuclear plant near New York City. Actual releases are trillions of times higher than reported during last week. Cracks in the multiple spent fuel pools. Intense investigation is currently underway to see if it can be stopped. Now, there were reports that said no matter where you live, these uncontrollable radioactive flow is not a phrase that you want to ever hear in relation to your local weather source or your local water source. Now, according to the Huffington Post, for more than a decade, the Indian Point nuclear plant has been unstable, and it's just not good. The pools that hold the spent fuel rods are leaking, and they're leaking into the groundwater, folks. Eventually, it makes it into the Hudson River. Now, the operators of the plant seem to zero in on this problem, with the most recent leak, however, according to an assessment by the New York Department of State as part of a coastal zone management assessment, contains a variety of radioactive elements that are seeping, okay? Tritium, nickel, cobalt, cesium. All of these things are part of the radioactive leaking that's going on into the groundwater there. Now, this is not good. The Huffington Post did report back on February 15th by a journalist named Roger Witherspoon that the Indian Point contaminates the Hudson River with uncontrollable radioactive flow for more than a decade. So he goes on to talk about what has happened. They never thought this would be possible, folks, but now it is. Well, look, this is part of the problem, guys. And so think about Iran. Think about the Iranians with their nuclear facilities, and they're set in very volatile earthquake zones. And anyway, with the terrorists running around and people getting access to stuff, I mean, we just had some radioactive material stolen 3 days ago from the Interior Ministry of Mexico. They don't know where it went. These guys drove off with a pickup truck with an entire canister full of highly radioactive material. Now they can open that up and they can leave that in different spots. They could plant it in buildings and rooms and different places, and it wouldn't take long to completely poison people with this highly radioactive material. So we're living in a day now where it's like we have no idea what we've done. We have created technologies and advancements trying to create what we call clean energy. Instead of burning coal and using fuel, we want to go places that we probably can't go. And now we can't deal with the spent fuel rods. Our infrastructure in America is terrible. I want to just tell you something. I was in Germany 2 years ago. Their roads, their highways, the Autobahn. I was driving on the Autobahn. There's not a pothole to be found in Germany. Their roads, there is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful system. And I'm talking about even after you get off the Autobahn, you just go into the little villages. Perfect roads. Perfect. And you go into some of the airports in different parts of the world. State of the art. Excellent infrastructures. Now, I know there's third world countries that are struggling. But believe me, the United States of America's infrastructure is crumbling, and we are in debt to our eyeballs, and we don't know. And we don't, we've got this mentality to open the borders, let people keep pouring in. We have no way to take care of all these folks. We don't have enough jobs the way it is. Our politicians have robbed us blind, have spent every dime there is, and then they've borrowed up to our eyeballs, and they just pass it on down the line to the next generation or the next group or the next set of congressmen. We have no term limits in Congress. These things are what's causing the corrosion and the corruption, and this leads to accidents like this and a whole lot worse, including terrorist strikes. So we really need to pray. I'm really praying for the folks in New York over this Indian Point energy crisis that is going to continue. It is so silent. It's not being discussed at all in the mass media, mainstream media, ignoring it. And again, you have to come to my show, shows like that, alternative media, to my YouTube channel, places like this and others, to even get any clue what's going on. Are you serious? We're living in the days of Wormwood. Look at Flint, Michigan's water. The politicians caused that, and then they tried to cover it up and rig the testing. And I mean, they got corroded pipes. They couldn't hide the fact that it was bad when the water turned so brown that people are like, what? And then look at Texas. They got a city down there. The water is absolutely black as coal. And then look at California, methane gas just coming right out of the ground, and now carbon monoxide. And our infrastructure is crumbling. Our bridges are cracking. Our roads have potholes. You could, it's unreal. Are you serious?